Thank you very much. It's 6:30 and welcome to the Standards Committee meeting of Basingstoke and Dean Borough Council. Just to let you know, some housekeeping, we're not expecting any fire drills, so if we do hear the alarm, let's all leave through reception, meet in the War Memorial Park. This meeting is being webcast live on the internet and will be available to view later on YouTube. With the microphones, please make sure they're pointing right towards you, have about a handspan's distance between you and the actual mic, and bear in mind you need to press the button in order for it to work and then unlatch it so that someone else can speak. And if you'd be good enough to make sure that your mobile phone's switched off, that'd be fabulous, or at least on silent, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Welcome to everyone. It's lovely to see Councillor Jones. Thank you very much, and it's brilliant to see Fiona back in hale and hearty health. So, can I first of all check? I don't think we've got any apologies or substitutions that we're aware of. Nope. Anyone want to declare any interests? Nope. And I'm unaware of any urgent matters, unless anyone's got some they want to raise. Marvellous. In which case, the minutes of the last meeting on the 22nd of July, are people happy that they are sufficiently accurate? I'm seeing nodding heads. Fantastic. I will sign them accordingly and then hand over to item 5 then, which is the Code of Conduct Learning and Development Programme. And Fiona's going to present it.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, there's just a short update on the training programme for this year, and also an update as to the number of parish and town councils who've now adopted the LGA Code of Conduct. There has been a slight increase to the numbers that have adopted the new code, but I've also been informed by clerks that there's 2 parish councils tonight adopting it, and another one hopefully next week also adopting it. So that will just mean that there are 5 who haven't done so by the end of next week. In terms of the training, myself and the Deputy Monitoring Officer have done 2 online sessions with the parish and town councils, building on last year's sessions, and there were 25 attendees to those sessions. And then we've just done 1 borough councillor session at the moment, and 6 councillors attended that session. We're also going to remind people about the LGA learning module, just because that might be a better way for people to undertake the training. And just for information, we're keeping up the meetings with the clerks of the parish and town parish and town councils, so to build communication and regular contact and build relationships there. And so we did a session earlier in September on GDPR and FOI, as well as doing a review of the Code of Conduct, and we're going to continue with those meetings every 4 months. There's nothing further to add at this point.
Thanks very much, Fiona. So any questions or comments on the report so far? Yes.
Sorry. With the, was it 5 that hadn't taken it up? Is that because they don't want to or haven't responded?
So I've written to all of those that hadn't adopted it, and I haven't had any response from those 5 yet. So I can chase it up again and see if I can get any response. But I don't have any reasons yet. No.
Joe.
Well, I think you're to be congratulated that we've nearly got there, which obviously means that they've been listening to some pressure, and that parish councils have been going to the training as well, which obviously we've all hoped that they would do. It'll be interesting to see how far it goes. Are you keeping any records from councillors on the borough that might have done e-learning instead of coming on the borough's one, or would you get any report back on that to know that they may have done the e-learning if they didn't come on the ones that were set up for them?
So I will be sending a further email asking for confirmation that whether anybody's done it, because also like feedback on it as to whether they think it was useful, useful module to do. So I'll just be chasing that up.
Any other comments or questions on that particular report? Yeah. I'll take that as a no. So, yes, congratulations on reducing it just to 5. It's marvellous, isn't it? We don't yet know why. We'll try and find out if we can. And hopefully the e-learning will help fill a bit of a gap in terms of the borough councillor training as well. Thank you very much. So, if there are no other comments, are the committee happy to note the contents of that report? So that's noted. Thank you very much indeed. On to item 6, which is the complaints update report, seeking to update the committee on the progress in determining the code of conduct complaints received against borough, parish and town councillors. And Fiona has the details.
Thank you, Chair. Just the usual update on complaints. You'll see actually I've put a table in paragraph 3.2 because I've been noticing there's been an increase in the number of complaints compared to other years. I should say it's still low compared to other authorities, so we need to keep things in perspective, but for us it is quite an increase, and you can see that the balance between complaints against borough councillors and parish councillors has changed since from previous couple of years or so. So we'll keep an eye on. There's no real, there's no reason for it. I think it's just one of those cycles really. There's no common theme, I should say. So we'll just keep the committee informed of how it goes over the next few months.
And are there any questions or comments? Yes, go on.
With these 6 complaints, are they complaints or are they people just complaining for the sake of complaining? Well, we've come to a position now where people seem to complain about people being frank with each other, and I do wonder because whether.
Well, it's difficult to comment because quite a few of them are still outstanding,
Yeah,
so they're still being investigated and assessed as to whether there's merit to them. But I mean, no, that they're serious complaints which we need to take seriously. So whether they go any further is part of the assessment. But yeah.
Martin.
Thank you. There appear to be a number of pattern of disrespect and inappropriate posting on social media. I was noticing that of the parish councillors, we will have got a lot more new parish councillors as of May, and we've got 25 that have been trained. I just wonder whether in fact the information about how one behaves on social media and what is disrespect, I certainly recognise disrespect as being something within my parish council which has been a pattern and something I've seen in other councils. So it appears to be a behavioural pattern of disrespect, and the secondary in terms of what is appropriate to post on social media. I think the social media one is easier in terms of, is there a clear definition within the code of conduct about what is disrespect and what is social media acceptable?
I should say, firstly, the biggest complaint we get is with regard to respect. Out of all the complaints we receive, respect is the number one. There is guidance, and the LGA have given guidance on the code of conduct as to what they feel is disrespect. So we always look at that guidance when we're assessing complaints. It does form part of the training that we do for all councillors. We go through what the definitions would be and what may be unacceptable behaviour. And in terms of social media, it's the same. There's guidance on it. Social media, it seems the complaints in relation to social media are definitely increasing. But yeah, there are certain standards that we have to maintain. And the thing with social media is though its relation to council business. That's the issue. They're the complaints we can look at. If it isn't in relation to council business in any way, then it's harder for us as the monitoring officer and deputy monitoring officer to look at it. So it's harder to assess sometimes the social media. It's quite a grey area. But we have to assess it in line with the same standards as regards any other communication.
So if there are no other comments or questions, thank you very much for that, Martin. So in which case, can I suggest that the committee is happy to note the progress made on the complaints received and the learning derived from the consideration? We all happy? Thank you very much. So we move on to item 7, which is the work programme for the Standards Committee. And hopefully, Fiona, you can advise on that as well for us. Thank you.
So I've just noted some items which will need to come to the next committee. Obviously, if any committee members want to suggest any items, very, very welcome to receive those ideas. I'll just point out actually that the Deputy Prime Minister has announced that there will be a consultation on reforms to the standards framework. Some of you may recall that during the last government there was a review of the committee's of the standards framework, which led to certain recommendations, some of which weren't taken up. There were a couple that were, but she has announced there will be a further consultation on it, and she specifically mentioned whether councils should be given the power to suspend councillors if they're in breach of the code of conduct. So I'm expecting that to come out fairly shortly. I'm part of a monitoring officer group through the department, and they will tell us when they think it will be coming out. And we've got a meeting in the next couple of weeks, so hopefully I can make it for get to the March meeting for that discussion paper.
Any other comments or suggestions or additions to the work programme, Joe?
Can I just ask who? Obviously, you've put in recruitment. Where are we on the recruitment? Because I've lost the will to live about people coming and going. So, who would be recruiting potentially, or is there a possibility for making people stay with us longer if they wish to, or are we really going to have to go through another big round of recruitment in next year?
I'm trying to recall now, but I think there is an independent person and Amanda Orchard, an independent standards assessor, whose terms have already been extended. So their terms will have to come to an end. So there will be, I think, one independent person, one independent standards assessor to recruit. Everybody else, I think, could be extended if they want to be. So it'll just be the 2 posts. Otherwise, we've got a full complement at the moment. Very good.
Thank you. Any other comments or additions? Crikey, this is going to be a very quick meeting. I'm unaware of anything that I need to exclude the press or public from. No. In which case, if we're all happy, close the meeting. Thank you.